Welcome to this webinar, which provides insights into equality, diversity, and inclusion with a focus on parents. These insights take account of research and are drawn from inspectors' findings in early learning and care settings, as well as the guidance provided by inspectors to settings to promote improvement. All of the advice provided in this webinar should be considered in light of the prevailing public guidelines which apply in educational settings. Sending your child to a setting can be a very exciting yet nervous time for you and your child. It's a very big step in your child's development. It might be the first time that you leave your child in someone else's care, your child's very first experience of education, or their first time being away from you and your home. The introductory webinar for this series introduced the concepts, practices, and processes that embrace equality, diversity, and inclusion. We explored the importance of settings welcoming children on equal terms and ensuring their meaningful participation in their early years learning experiences. This webinar now aims to share with you as parents some examples of commendable inclusive practice that inspectors have observed during inspections. Where there is a culture and ethos of inclusivity, each and every child has the opportunity to reach their full potential. Early years practitioners welcome every child. They recognize and celebrate the child's identity as an individual and as a member of their family and wider community. Inspectors affirm practitioners who understand and respect all children's strengths, interests, and individual needs. These practitioners effectively nurture each child's sense of identity and belonging by respecting and celebrating their family's cultural background. Inclusive settings engage in meaningful collaboration with parents and other professionals to ensure access, equality, and full participation for all children. We will now look at the appropriate systems that are in place in high-quality settings and which foster commendable inclusive practice. In the first instance, practitioners are guided by clear policies and procedures that promote the setting's philosophy and vision in every area of provision, including equality, diversity, and inclusion. These guide and support practitioners to implement appropriate systems to meet the needs of all children. It's very likely that a comprehensive set of the setting's policies will be made available to you. This might be in written form or forwarded to you electronically. For instance, if your child was finding it difficult to settle in, you may like to know how your child will be supported. The settling in policy will outline the sensitive procedures that show you how practitioners support children to experience a smooth transition into the setting and settle at their own pace. Practitioners might invite you to stay with your child until they have fully settled. They may also encourage your child to bring a special toy or item from home for comfort and reassurance. You are your child's primary educator and have a vested interest in their learning. Inspectors affirm settings that strive to develop strong, respectful partnerships between parents and practitioners. In these settings, it is clearly evident that practitioners and parents consult with each other in a spirit of openness, mutual respect, and transparency. A further element of this respectful partnership process involves what is known as a key person approach. This approach is one in which each practitioner develops a secure relationship with a small group of children and acts as the main link between the setting and the parents of these children. When planning and organizing learning activities, The key person will facilitate your child's varying abilities, interests, and needs. In some instance, and following consultation between you, practitioners, and the manager, it may be agreed that your child requires additional assistance to fully participate in their early years experiences. With parental consent, settings may access extra support from the Access and Inclusion Model known as AIM. This is a national programme designed to ensure that children with specific needs receive assistance to help them participate fully in the preschool curriculum alongside their peers. The supports available include advice from early years specialists, funding to enable settings to provide specialist equipment, and in some instances to employ an additional staff member. With the help of AIM specialists, the first steps may be taken to link you in with early intervention professionals in your local health service executive. Inclusive settings would be happy to support your child and help you to seek advice from other relevant professionals. For instance, practitioners may assist you to link in with the local public health nurse to access support for your child's speech and language development. On many occasions, inspectors have commented how the key person helps to progress children's individual learning goals in collaboration with these relevant professionals. This shared responsibility and decision-making is beneficial to all children. Inspectors often comment on the range of training courses and support systems that practitioners engage with when they strive to promote inclusion. Some of these are specific to practitioners, while others can be made available to parents such as Hannon and Glove. Such learning programs help children's development of their social, language, and literacy skills through specific strategies. Inspectors find that many settings have an inclusion coordinator who promotes inclusive practice. Their role is to consult with parents and support all children to participate fully in their learning. In addition, the inclusion coordinator will work with practitioners to ensure that children's sense of identity and belonging is nurtured, valued, and affirmed. This might include the practitioner's review of curriculum planning to take account of children's varying interests, cultural backgrounds, strengths, and specific needs. Many inspection reports describe how practitioners create welcoming atmospheres by warmly greeting the parents and children and engaging in friendly daily conversations. In highly inclusive settings, inspectors describe how the physical environment is purposefully structured to ensure it is accessible to all children. In these settings, resources are available at child height, with space for children to play individually, in pairs, or in groups. Additionally, practitioners have laid out the environment with clearly defined areas to support a variety of playful opportunities. Inspectors describe how the practitioners provide commendable, exciting, playful experience like sand and water, dress up, mark making, and building blocks, to name but a few. As parents, you may be aware of ASHTR, the Early Childhood Curriculum Framework. It highlights how important it is that your child's individual identity is recognized, understood, respected, and reflected in the environment. Practitioners in highly effective settings successfully use imagery and displays to nurture children's sense of identity and belonging. For instance, inspectors note how practitioners organize respectful displays that celebrate the children's individuality, their family, and their community. These might include the family wall and birthday displays. During inspections, inspectors observe special moments where children look at and talk about these displays with their friends and the practitioners. Access to such imagery helps build positive self and group identity for your child. Inspectors often comment on how practitioners have provided a range of books and resources that allow the children to explore and understand their interests, cultures, and abilities. For example, you might find books in your family's first language. Other books may accurately reflect people from different cultures and people with various abilities, strengths, and needs. Inspectors note that practitioners use such books to support children to recognize and understand similarities and differences in the setting and the wider society. You might see that the dress-up area contains the traditional dress of your family culture and other cultures. Additionally, in the home corner, you may find that there are some utensils that you might use are representations of food eaten in your home available for children to explore during their play experiences. In some instances, practitioners might ask you as a parent to bring in symbols of your home culture for the children to engage with during their play. As a parent, you want to know that your child will be supported to communicate while in the setting and feel that their individual needs are being met. Inspectors often find that practitioners create and display visual daily routines at the child's height. These schedules outline the sequence of the children's day in preschool using photographs or graphics. Sometimes early years practitioners use additional visual supports, such as choice boards, to help children to develop the skills and independence to make decisions during their play by selecting pictures of what they would like to do. Such supports will help to assure you that your child feels in control of their day, understands what is happening, and never feels lost. In some instances, inspectors affirm practitioners' effective use of communication strategies such as love and PECS and information communication technology to support all children to effectively communicate. Inspectors regularly describe how practitioners support children's emotional development, social and practical skills as they encourage children with tidying up and managing their personal care needs. Inspectors note that in some settings, a buddy system is used effectively to support children to develop their social and emotional skills. This really inclusive practice of pairing children together promotes positive relationship building among these young children. Settings that value inclusive practices strive to build a strong partnership with parents to support their child's meaningful participation in the learning program. Inspectors observe that practitioners in these settings regularly and consistently collaborate with parents by keeping them informed, listening to them, and consulting with them. You might be aware that registration or getting to know you forms are often used to gather information about children before they attend the setting. As parents, you will be required to share your knowledge of your child and your family so that practitioners can prepare for their arrival. Such forms might include a question about family members, your culture, family pets, or about the first language spoken in your home. Inspectors note that practitioners skillfully use this information to organize meaningful, playful learning experiences. This is really beneficial to young children's learning and helps them develop a positive sense of identity and belonging. In high-quality settings, inspectors note the many opportunities provided for two-way information sharing between practitioners and parents. Inspectors often note lovely interactions where parents and practitioners chat informally at drop-off and pick-up times about the children. Practitioners use these conversations to plan for children's learning. For example, you might share with the practitioners that your child has mastered a skill at home, such as hopping on one foot. The practitioner acknowledges your child's development and plans an activity to reinforce their new skill. As a parent, I'm sure you'd love the opportunity to be consulted with regard to your child's learning and development. In highly effective settings, inspectors note that parents are often invited in to discuss their child's progress or to view their learning records at a mutually suitable time. In addition, you may be encouraged to write comments on your child's records of learning to further support their development. This wonderfully inclusive practice enriches the respectful building of relationships between the parents and practitioners. Inspectors often describe how early years practitioners welcome visits from the children's parents and family members to the setting to talk to the group about their jobs, show off a talent or skill, share a story, or to discuss their culture. This supports children's self-identity, sense of family, and promotes their self-esteem. Finally, as your child progresses to primary school education, you can expect to be involved in the sharing of information with the schools. Inspectors commend practitioners who consult with parents with regard to sharing information about their child as a learner with the primary school. This might include individual learning plans for your child, such as the AIM Access or Inclusion Plan or the MUSH-Scale reporting template. Additionally, the Let's Get Ready online resource created by the Department of Children, Equality, Disability, Integration and Youth provides some useful information for supporting transitions. Here is a list of further information and resources which may support you. This brings us to the close of this webinar, and we would like to thank you for listening. We hope it provides helpful advice. If you have direct queries or comments arising from your engagement with this webinar, please use the dedicated email address provided to send your comments to us: insights_info@education.gov.ie. We wish to thank all for the beautiful images shared with us for this webinar. Goodbye.